Hey, we're live. Welcome to Transition. My name is Ari Hathaway, and I'm one of your hosts tonight. And here with me is the beautiful Christine Denton Barreco.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Happy 2022. Is it time for you to transition? I mean, it probably is. Maybe that title caught your attention and you're like, I want to hear what tonight's about. We want to say thank you so much for being here. We have an awesome training planned for you. Our goal tonight, I do want you guys to know, not only welcome and thank you for being here, but our goal tonight is to inspire you, to empower you, and to challenge you. So tonight is going to be a little bit kind of like if you were like at a podcast or something like that. It's a free training, a free workshop where you're going to learn some amazing transition tips. And really, it's more than free. You're kind of getting paid to be here because your beauty consultant has offered you a swag bag. Maybe drop it off. You guys are together. If you guys are here together, in the comments, if you could just drop a note and say, oh my gosh, yes, I'm here with my beauty consultant. We decided to stream you guys together and have a glass of wine together, a cup of coffee. I've got my sparkling water. I got my San Pellegrino. What do you have, Christine?
Some classic red wine,
I like it. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Well, we want to tell you, thank you so much for being here. And at the end, we're actually going to ask you how we did. Okay. We want to know your feedback, how we did, and everybody's going to get something for coming on. We believe that this is going to be an absolute blessing for every single one of you. And I just want to tell you real quickly how this really came to be birthed in my heart. I believe that 2021 wasn't just a setback for myself personally. It was a setback for a lot of us. A lot of us had setbacks in 2021. Like 2020, of course, our world was shocked and rocked, but we thought for sure everything would kind of be together for 2021. And we started to make plans and we started to like move forward. And I will tell you that I felt like I had a lot of personal setbacks, that's for sure. And so this is a year where we can take our 2021 setbacks, learn from it, and have some 2022 comebacks. Who's ready for a comeback year? If that's you, we want to hear from you in the chat and say, yep, I'm ready for my comeback year. We really believe that no matter where you are, you can have a transition in your life, and it can beautifully happen. Here in Mary Kay, we have seen women transition. Christine and I are going to be able to share with you about our personal transitions, how we transitioned. But we really didn't want to just talk about Mary Kay. We actually thought we'd bring to you 4 cornerstones to having a successful transition. Yes, absolutely. I love this. Karen Push, she's got comeback kid. Let's go. That's absolutely. Yep. Dalianes wants a comeback year as well too. She's ready. Yep. People have had a lot of setbacks. They're ready for their comeback year. I really am believing that this is going to be a comeback year. So we're going to give you 4 cornerstones, 4 tips if you like them, if you're resonating with them. And then at the end, we're going to give you an opportunity to get some, guess what? Some of the amazing deals that we've got for you just as a gift for being on tonight. Okay. So Christina's going to share the first one with you. And let me pull this up real quick on our Okay. There, let me come off.
Hi. All right. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. So the first tip is definitely to transition is your perspective. Perspective is everything. These 2 years have felt like eternity. And when we feel like things are getting to a place of normalcy, then everything changes again, right? The next thing comes along. I was actually encouraged reading recently 2 Corinthians 4:17. The Bible says that even our troubles are momentary. It doesn't feel momentary, does it, right? And defeat is temporary. This too shall pass. We have gone through more change in the past 2 years than I think most people have gone through most of their entire life. But here's what I've learned. Change is inevitable, but growth, that's optional. Everything will change, but will we grow through it? That's up to us, right? We'll go through it, but will we grow through it? So I want to challenge you not to waste a learning and growing opportunity. And I really like to say that Mary Kay taught me to be a personal self-coach, like my own coach, basically, asking myself the kind of questions that can move me forward when I'm in a season where things are challenging. It's really easy for us to ask ourselves the why questions, like, well, why am I going through this? Or why why can't this be done? Or when will this be done? Right. Or the should have, or the could have, I could have done this or should have done that. Or looking back this whole year, I always hear this phrase, but don't should have on yourself. Right. Versus to the questions like, what did I learn? How can I grow through this and from this? And how am I different because of this? We're all different because of this, right? And what good? Because good has come from this. Our world has changed and some of it has been really good and not going back to before, right? And if not, we might miss a miracle if we don't take the opportunity to look for that good. So for me, perspective is everything. I remember once hearing the phrase, take the lesson, dump the experience. So whenever I need a mental shift or a new perspective, I find myself with thinking, I have to push myself into gratitude mode. And actually, I have a rule in my home that my kids don't like this rule, but the minute they're complaining about anything and get into complaining mode, they have to say one thing they are grateful for each thing they've complained about. Complaining stops quickly. But when you are in an environment where the perspective is positive, where everybody's growing and moving forward, pushing through together, it makes a difference. So that's about, for me, the concept on perspective. And I know Ari is going to talk about permission to dream.
Oh, that was perfect. I love it. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about the second really pillar in cornerstones to having transition tips here is the permission to dream again. I know for me, I barreled down and I got realistic when the pandemic happened. I think we were just looking at, okay, this is not a season to buy that because of the uncertainty with this. And that's not a bad decision-making strategy, surely. However, it had a long-lasting effect on my person is that I didn't realize I actually stopped dreaming. A part of that had to do with I kind of felt like I couldn't plan anymore because every time I'd make a plan, it would change. How many of you can relate to this, right? Like, oh my goodness, it's so hard to move forward. How do I make a dream? And then how do I ask others to even be a part of my dream? I'm just grateful that I haven't gotten ill or that I didn't lose my job, right? And so how do we gain the permission to dream again? And I just want to share with you guys that this is actually, this is the second time this happens to me in my life, okay? I didn't realize that I had stopped dreaming when I graduated from college and got in my career as an actuary. So I have a degree in math, finance, and economics. I used to work as an actuary, calculating financial risk. Loved what I did. So excited to work in corporate America. But if you've ever worked in corporate America, it wanes and waxes on you. Eventually, I started being that girl that hung around in the coffee room, just waiting for coffee in the morning. I'm tired. And I stopped dreaming the big dream that I was going to get the promotions because they weren't coming as fast as I thought that they should come. And then I'd see moms coming back from maternity leave, crying in the chairs next to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do when I have a baby? And I kept trying to save up to buy for a home, but the promotion wasn't coming quick enough. So the money wasn't there. And I don't know how many of you ever found yourself in a place where you realized you weren't dreaming. Now, I didn't realize I wasn't dreaming. I thought I was just becoming more realistic because I was like, oh, in college I was dreaming. This is just realistic. I need to take longer to save to buy a home. Oh, it's going to take longer to get that promotion. Oh, I thought I was just being realistic. And then I got invited to go to a Mary Kay meeting for a facial. And I don't know why I told the girl yes, because I was a total tomboy. I didn't do any of this makeup stuff. And I went, and when I was there, I saw these women all dressed up in these heels with their jewelry and their makeup on. And they were dancing and they were recognizing women, cheering them on, giving them tiaras. They were making tons of money. One of them, I'll tell you, one of them had made $17,000 in a month, another one $12,000 in a month, and the other one $10,000 in a month. And I was like, whoa, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I can do rocket science and I don't make that much in a month. What are these women doing? But I'm going to share with you the number one thing that I heard that night, besides the fact that they were able to live their life, God first, family second, career third, that it was a company with values. I realized once I was hanging around dreamers that I had stopped dreaming. I was like, oh my goodness, I stopped dreaming. You stopped dreaming. And it takes being around a dreamer to realize that you stopped dreaming. And I thought, oh my goodness, I had all these plans and here are these women making things happen, like big time. Like one of them was talking about how, oh my goodness, I took my bonus and I surprised my husband and I bought him a boat. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's like crazy. There are not people in corporate America talking about this, at least in my job where I was at. And so in Mary Kay, I found the permission to dream again. And a lot of it had to do with finding people that I could dream with. So I'm going to encourage you. Who have you heard lately say that they're launching something new? They're starting something new. They're changing careers. They're going back to school. They launched a business. They're working on something. Okay? Hang around those people. Hang around the dreamers, because when you hang on to dreamers and you're surrounded by dreamers, in Mary Kay, if you hang around free car drivers, inevitably you'll become a free car driver. And if you hang around women who, are making their dreams come true, but inevitably you make your dreams come true. But I didn't realize that by me being in my home, I had become realistic and I had stopped dreaming again. And I actually needed to give myself permission to dream again. Is it, Ari, okay to dream again? And this is the thing I want to share with you. Your dream, if it's big enough, has nothing to do with you, but rather the lives of those that you impact. And so it is almost like your right and your responsibility to dream again and to stretch yourself again and to grow again, because mediocrity loves misery, right? Like we cannot just stay where we are and we become mediocre. We were created by God to be challenged and to be encouraged and to be empowered. And so we don't want to just sit here. I'm telling you, I gave myself the permission to dream again and to start dreaming bigger as well too. And I love hearing some of you say that, yes, permission to dream again. And that's actually what my title is in Mary Kay. It's a National Sales Director in NSD. And I always say it also stands for Never Stop Dreaming. I started small in July and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I'm surrounding myself with people who really, truly are encouraging me to dream again. Okay, I'm going to bring back Christine and she's going to share with you guys the next one.
Yay! All right. Well, mine is a place to dream. I have found that nothing shifts you faster out of a setback than being connected to a community that uplifts you and encourages you. Where dreaming and growing are just part of the culture. Actually, Mary Kay came into my life during one of the greatest transitions of my life. 13 years ago, I actually prayed a very bold prayer. Thinking back now, I'm like, that was pretty bold. I prayed for God to realign me. I wasn't necessarily very fulfilled. I was working full-time as a pharmaceutical representative with a great career. But to be honest, I was living a life of indulgence, looking for significance and true satisfaction in all the wrong ways. And so I was living a life beyond my means, which is really easy in Miami to do, right? And for those that live in South Florida, I know many of you are coming from all places. And those decisions led me to 10 credit cards of debt at the age of 25, I'm embarrassed to say. But that's what got me here. All those things that filled my apartment, all the stuff I was buying, I still felt unfulfilled. And so just after a month of my realignment prayer, December 12th, actually, two things came into my life on that very same day. One, I became a Mary Kay beauty consultant. And it was the same day that I was introduced to my husband of now we'll be married in February, 11 years. And change didn't stop there. 3 weeks later, after that decision and after my realignment prayer, my company sends a memo that it's, to stay home on a Friday. They're having huge announcements of pending layoffs. It was January of 2009, the market crash. And honestly, I really believed that I would not be affected. They had just invested all this training in me. I was 3 years in, finishing a training program of 3 years. They couldn't get rid of me. I was working so hard and really willing to work my way up. So I went to work that day, and because I was hosting a lunch with a new doctor I had been waiting to meet, and I wasn't going to miss it. So at that appointment, at that lunch, I received a call from my office, from my district manager, that I in fact was laid off. I was one of the ones that was let go. Honestly, I was very embarrassed. I was at this doctor's office. I was let down. I was disappointed. I was afraid because now my company car was taken. Now I was, a single woman living independently. There's the middle of the recession, all these things that came, every emotion came into mind. But I will tell you, as the Bible always has phrases, but God, that was a but God moment because God showed up. Actually, the doctor who I was bawling my eyes out in front of him, embarrassingly enough, in front of him and his wife, who I just met, by the way, that day, he put on a sticky pad for me some words that I will never forget. And I believe somebody here needs to hear these words. because it has changed me. And it said, the will of God will never leave you, where his grace cannot keep you. The will of God will never leave you, where his grace cannot keep you. I just met this man, but God knew I needed that message. I think someone needs to hear that today. And in fact, I did not realize that that very painful season was God's realignment that I had prayed for, right? But with a different perspective, 13 years later, peeling back the layers, that pain had a purpose. And in my short time with Mary Kay, in that season, I had only been in for 3 weeks, this community was already an anchor for me. I remember actually going to my first event after my layoff and people congratulating me. And I really didn't understand why, but I realized now that they were congratulating me on the freedom that I would experience after my layoff. And I understand now that, but didn't then. And I'll tell you, these women saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I don't know how things would have played out had it not been for my Mary Kay community in one of the most challenging seasons and transition of my life. And honestly, Mary Kay, I was using Mary Kay as a transition to the next job, but I found what I never knew I always wanted. But I started in my transition, right? If not, I had never would have experienced Mary Kay. So I ask you with that said, how are you plugging in right now? Do you have a community? Do you have a support system? Besides your maybe friends that, always tell you, it's okay, keep going, but like a community, a real community that anchors you, that uplifts you, that challenges you, that makes you better, a place to dream, and to dream again, a space where you're surrounded by other dreamers and people that are not only transitioning like you, but have accountability to you, right? And having a mentor. That's what Mary Kay has been for me, a place to definitely dream again. Take it away, Ari.
I love it. Thank you, Christine. That was awesome. We have to have a place to dream. And our very last tip that we have for you for transition. So first was gaining the right perspective. The second one was having the permission to dream again, having a place to dream. And the final one that I'm going to share is having a plan to move forward. Because of course we know that without a plan, what are we going to do? So I'm here to ask you, if you are looking to transition, your heart is stirring, that where you're at is really not where God wants to keep you. What does that next step look like? We know that without challenge, there is no change. So what is the challenge? What will move you? I know so many times we resist challenge. Like we don't want to be challenged, but without challenge, there is no change. So I want to encourage you to accept the challenge, take the challenge, rise up to the occasion and say yes to the challenge, because the challenge truly is the thing that'll grow you. Throughout the Bible, we actually see Bible verses where Jesus himself said, get up and go. It is said so often, get up and go. Why? Nothing new is going to happen exactly where you are. Where you are is your comfy zone. It's comfortable. You already know what's there. So where you are, have you gotten comfortable? I think a lot of us have gotten comfortable. We've gotten comfortable of being home too much. And we've even become, I'm guilty of this, becoming lazy of meeting up with people, even when we can. Even when we have no reason to not meet up with people, we make up an excuse because we've just gotten comfortable being here, right? And so this is just not who we are. You do it long enough and you start forgetting who you are. So the Word of God challenges us to get up and to go. There's a very famous author. You might know his name. His name is Rick Warren. He is actually the author of the book, The Purpose-Driven Life. He's a world bestseller. His book was translated into over 80 languages. Okay. And so he made this amazing quote that I absolutely love. And this is what he said. He said that he has read a lot of biographies and he's realized that there's no such thing as great people, only great dreams. And I love that because I think so many times we're so worried about who we are. Oh, I'm not that great person. And you know what? He's like, I agree with you. We don't need to worry about being a great person, but rather setting a dream and chasing it down. When you set a dream and you chase it down, the dream will pull the greatness out of you. And so I'm here to challenge you and to inspire you and to encourage you to have a plan, not just a dream, because a dream without a plan is just a wish. to actually have a plan and to step forward with that plan. And I know that Christine was talking about a place to dream where you have accountability and you hold each other accountable. And I love that. Do you have a community of people that when you say I'm going to do this, nobody's like, oh really, well how? And they're like, okay, let's do it. Like they've got your back, but that you're chasing it down, because the dream will truly pull it out of you. You lose nothing in trying and you gain everything. The worst thing you can do is lay your head down on your pillow at night and have regret. We don't want you to have regret. So there is actually a common denominator here between these tips that we shared with you guys today. And let me add Christine into this as well too. And the common denominator between these 4 tips are people. Have you noticed that? Like people really, that is the common denominator here. And I believe one of the reasons we actually had a setback in 2021 is that we were all missing people. Okay. And do you know that they're actually calling the year 2022 the year of connection or reconnection? You're actually going to see it all over the stores, in the marketing, and they say, oh, come and gather, get dressed together, buy this together. It's going to be all about gathering and connecting. And so we wanted to give you these tips because you're probably thinking of doing something new, looking to do something new, and we're here to add value. All right, so our goal at the beginning was this. We're going to share some awesome deals that we've got for you, but we want to ask you right now, our goal for you tonight was to inspire you, empower you, and challenge you. And we want to ask you, how did we do with that? Okay, how did we do with that? Okay, put it in the chat here, because we want you to know that actually you just got a taste of really what our Mary Kay community is about, right? Like this is who we are. This is us in Mary Kay. We enrich women's lives. We go and give expecting nothing in return, because it truly is better to give than to receive. And we live out these priorities of God, family, and career. It's what we do because it's who we are. It flows out of us. And really the Mary Kay product is simply a vehicle to start your a vehicle to make the dreams come true. It's the dream that drives us. I don't think people ever say, oh, when I grow up, I can't wait to be a Mary Kay girl. No, the product is the vehicle to make the dreams come true. So Christine has some deals that she's going to share with you. Oh, wait, I'm going to put a few. Okay, good. We've got some people that are putting like, yes, they've got goals to meet. It was amazing. Their hearts inspired. We're so grateful that you thought. Okay, so Christine, tell them all about these amazing deals, and I'll flash them.
All right, so we've got our first one coming up. We're going to see on the screen here some really exciting, some samples. So I want to say there are 3 ways to be part of this transition in 2022 with Mary Kay, and we invite you. And I believe that every single one of you have a place to fit to win here. So first and foremost, you're looking to transition because you are in a transition. Maybe you're praying that realignment prayer and you're like ready for something more, and you're looking for something new and looking for something fresh and looking to somewhere and to grow, something and someone to challenge you, right? And to be in an environment where you truly feel appreciated and valued. I invite you, if that is you, to join our sisterhood to turn your 2020 and 2021 setbacks into a 2022 comeback. And it is just a $30 decision. When I was thinking of my 10 credit cards, and back then it was a $100 decision, I thought I had made a bunch of $100 decisions that did not change my life, just got me in debt. But my $100 decision, now it's your $30 decision, has been the best decision that I would do again and again. And it's just $30. Right? And by saying yes today, you get a free launch kit with 6 miracle set samples. Basically, you're getting your first sample pack for free. All you do is complete your online form, connect with your sales director, and she will send these samples out for you to your friends and your family, and you'll be telling them your transition story. So if that's you and you're in and you're claiming those little sample packs for your first 6 friends, right? Say yes in the chat so we can flash your name on the screen. We want to highlight everyone that is joining this sisterhood today. I see Joanne. I'm ready to move into the vision God gave me of being a pink Cadillac. You and my people deserve it. Amen, Joanne. I love the dreams being born here and recommitted here. Love that. So if those are for you, you're like, yes, that is me. Put in the chat, I am ready to move forward in this way. Now, what if you're thinking, okay, well, I want to be part of this transition, but I'm not sure if that's quite me yet. Another way to be part of the transition story in Mary Kay is to be part of your consultant's transition story. This is a new year, and she has set some new goals. And you know what? It takes connection. You get to be a bridge of connection. Every goal I've ever met has had women like you part of my journey, and you get to be part of her journey, connecting her with your friends. And by choosing this, you get to choose by bringing your friends together virtually or in person, a free eye makeup remover and a mascara of choice, two of our most popular products for connecting her with your friends. Here's how. Pick a date and a time and actually hold that date and time in January, right? And virtually with 6 friends or in person with at least 3. And you get to claim this for yourself. You can see here, makeup remover and mascara. Lori's like, best decision ever. Yeah, Lori, I'm with you on that. Stacey's like, yes, you claiming that makeup remover mascara. I love it. Dorothea is saying yes. I love all these comments, you guys. So if this is you, you're like, okay, I can be part of this transition. I can help support my beauty consultant. I can be a bridge of connection. I can bring her 6 friends virtually at least, or 3 in person. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. So that is you. But what if you're like, okay, I like what I've seen. I would love to do that. I'm going to look at some dates. But what if you're like, I know for sure I can say yes to taking action on my own beauty transition. I mean, it's a new year, ladies. We've been behind masks and cameras and, computers for quite some time, right? So you are saying, yes, I want to take action on my own beauty transition. It's a new year. I want some new skin. You're saying, I want a new look. I want to boost my confidence with that new look. If that is you, guess what? Today, you get to take home today any item that you see on the sheet here. When you spend $50 or more, you get to get half off on any item on this sheet. Okay. 50 is easy. That's like my basic set, right? You can easily put that together, right? So when you take home 50 or more, you can choose any item on the sheet for half off today. If that's you're like, I'm ready for an upgrade, 2022, I'm gonna never look better than 2022, looking awesome, right? You're ready for your beauty transition. Let her know which of these 3 you are and say yes in the chat so we can highlight you and celebrate you. Edna's saying, I'm ready. Yes, Edna, we are ready for you, Edna. That's awesome. Who else is saying yes today? We're so excited for you guys. So any of these 3 is your place. Pick the one that best aligns with you. And all right, we'll bring it back to Ari as you're picking the one. And you can see all these 3 again, whether you're transitioning as a customer, new beauty consultant, or fabulous customer and hostess.
Thank you, Christine. And I'll put this back on there as well, too, because many people were saying that they love that launch kit. All 3 deals are phenomenal. And if you are doing a beauty transition, I do want you to know your consultant can send the deals flyer to you. Okay. She can send that to you. We would love for you to sport our mascara and try that world's best selling eye makeup remover. But of course, if you're thinking, I want to share, I'm going to transition this year and I want to share my transition story. We've got 6 of these samples that your director will connect with you to send them to your first 6 women you want to share your transition story with. These are women who will support your dream and your goals of doing something different for yourself in 2022, because that really truly is what it's about. So we want you to know that we're almost here at the end, but we have to tell you, thank you. Without you, really, your consultant would not be able to live the dream or even be inspired to dream or inspired to share with you so that you can dream again. It's an incredible opportunity. And so in the chat, you can put that number 1. Yep, I want that kit. I'm going to be a beauty consultant. I'm going to take 2022 to transition. Number 2 is I'm going to host. I'm going to get that free eye makeup remover. And number 3 is I'm going to get a transition to my beauty for my new self. So you can put 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. And I do want you to know that your consultant is going to call you as soon as this broadcast is over. She's going to connect with you because that's what we do here in Mary Kay. We connect. We're grateful for you and we want to connect with you. And she wants to hear your voice. And I'm sure you want to hear her voice if you're not doing this hybrid. We're so grateful that you came today and that you streamed with us. I hope and pray that these transition tips really do truly serve you in this year as you transition. So let's say goodnight to them. And thank you so much for being here tonight, ladies. We so appreciate it. Have a great night. Bye.
Have a great night. Bye, everybody.
Call your guest. Bye.